tanda nangbe shilam jesum namsha zo nying yorero nangba sanjebe shi nega puta nangba sanjebe chö domjiro de kare kare yume zo shege yore adi nyene ne susu semba de nima de ne jenge semde ane semba de sanro tangi yin samba nima de ne che semba sanro tangi che de ne ngadi zinda de nyingi yin sam o kulon de ne che tumna ane yago yore semben ju kulon ro nyeya de.
So first we're going to do a motivation meditation, right? So our motivation should be as follows, right? As tonight we're going to be listening to the teachings on the Buddhist presentation or explanation of the base, the path, and the results, right? Or ground, path, and result. So it will be like an explanation of what's meant by this in terms of the context of the Buddhist path. But in order to listen to this, we want to have a pure mind or a pure motivation. So we should listen, be motivated to listen to this with a positive motivation to be a benefit to others.
다 가고 매줄 삼바 상보든 되지 신뱅이 심자데 아니 요나 삼바 주요 스스로가 그래나 내단 그래는 스스 심려야 신라 편도 제가 삼블 되나 미디 삼바 해봤다 기바 연구요 제가 인데게다 디지기 자와 영향이 신뱅이 심든 되지 마란줄라 요새네 가고 검토나야 보더라.
So now we should really feel joyful, right? Having developed this peaceful, positive mind, wishing to benefit others, having recognized and developed this, we should really take great joy in having this pure motivation.
다 저는 저 쌤, 다다가 가는 셔야 돼가. 다 단단한 진짜 얘기 있어. samlo damanda 계산 드링 당하쇼베 계속 기니네 주 담으로 삼는 샤야무도나 당아 단다 진짜 얘기 위해서 단당하디 내 가르치기 미디하고 얘기 위해서 다산이가 가르치고 셈대 주는 말을 막 단당아 진짜 얘기 위해서 부디님도가 삼디 진짜 이 암조 얘기 가르라고도 셈대 다다가 가는 샤투이나 대 야고요.
So now we should praise our mind, bring our mind to the present moment, right? So we're here in this class now to listen. That's the purpose that we're here. So, when thoughts of the past arise, like something maybe happened this morning or previous to that, you should reassert your focus that you're here to listen to the talk now. And also the same, if you have thoughts of the future, like tomorrow and so forth, coming up, then you should again bring your mind back to the present. Think I'm here to listen to these teachings and keep the mind like in the present moment.
다 기생만 저 동반이 거라 계제가 진시 대양야 딕지 나르와다 남바산제베 추라 시 덴반이 라고요라 시네가 기생마 먼저 시버 콜로나라다 딘시기 냐메 셰던데와 다디네 트르네 단다 동반이 거 셰르다 동반이라도 당부 대신에 요거를 덴중라야 찍을지 가리나 찍을 때네 중화래로 가지 대화 요된 거지 레스로 지금 대화 요된 저 때네 중화 짠짠 지금 메시지게 때네 뭐 전에 최제 요 말다 그래서 대직 시험이나 아니 뭐다 된 가서 그래 그 뭐연내주 신이디 아니 뭐연내주디 뭐네디 먼저 셈디 뭐네루 파 타녀로 도디 아니 수수 셈지 남도디 뇽으로 셈 남도 뇽으로나 아니 somebody shiva 아니 somebody 기브로 보여레스 그다음 디인디디 왜 내가 전부 레스로 와
So previously, your last class, we were talking about emptiness, and so we're going to talk a little further about this, but in particular in relation to the Four Noble Truths, because the basis for this wheel of existence is this understanding of the Four Noble Truths. So when we talk about emptiness, we first need to look at it in terms of dependent origination, right? That all phenomena are mutually dependent or arise in dependence. There's not one single phenomena that doesn't arise as a dependent origination. So this is the nature of this, the way things exist, and also the nature of the way our mind exists. So the more closer we can bring our mind to understanding this nature of things, then the less kind of discursive thinking we'll have, and then the less discursive thinking we have, then the more peaceful and happy our minds will be.
단다 라마 종거 인데 소요 된데도나 반덴 데벨 시기가 투메 라메티 반덴 데벨 시기가 투메 세션 라메티 투메 다기 있는 게서 톱서와 반덴 다와타고 자가게 개바지기 ene 좀 된데 송배 동반이 지고래야 베지스tam이야 된주 우만을 주고 사실어 된중부터 이렇게 좀 한번 쉐어라 다데 ene 제르마친 수술라마게 가딘라 때네 아니 다 지글직 때네 중화세하게 단다데 틱지 하고 선서로 데 하고네 아니 ngesimla tezi ngesimla shiwa simla ngeso tepsong serwa ngeso agora
konda na
ngeso sena ves simla ves
anya sorero konda
hamagona geji tipola
re
odndela sigde tanda deres
so the picture maybe praise
umajuba
meme nyonan jitsong kabodi
dawataw de dan dendedo
Yeah. So as Lama Tsongkhapa said in the praise to dependent arising, he was talking about the Master Chandrakirti, the Indian Pandit Master Chandrakirti, and his text is the entrance, praising his text, the entrance to the middle way. And Lama Tsongkhapa said, due to the kindness of my gurus, I have this slight understanding of emptiness, and this understanding has brought my mind to be at rest, brought my mind to be at rest.
다디 녀석 컨데 티고래라나 단단 먼저 단다 셈무단데요. 변나처럼도 저든데라다 미지게 미지게 갈라 빼 도자라서 칙 도자라라. 처럼다 빼 도자도 야면나 처럼 빼 쪼고도 라비나. 먼저 다 미디 빼 미도자 쉬어제 수수 셈나라 차그래라. 셈나라 때지 나와 샤그래 랑원에 두어서 나와 샤그래. 다디 뭐이네즈디 된데지 여러베스네 요 말해. 뭐이네즈디 미데라 강에 요래 동에 요래 담만디고 요 델레데네 미데 직두자라고 요래 만조라 지기 요래. 뭐이네즈디 수수 삼문안에 샤워나시 미두자된데 요 말해. 미디 파디나 미카시 당보 직두자라나 제라야 미베 야고차데 야고 조금 여고차야 된데 요라. 그래서 디인디장을 수수 셈라 나와 샤워나시디 뭐이네즈라 요 말해. 이나 만저디 뭐네지 요래 삼 이제 치고 다팅원에 독자 쉬어지도 센나 나와샤더라 근데 짐버터가 안저 셈라 빼 삼범마 지버디 용고요로 짐디 들어 나와디 짐바이나 안저 셈라 마지버 용고 나와디 파카네 다디 나와나시 요 말에 딩아라 셈기 나와담게 네 먼저 픽자 롱예 샤오라 무비 샤든 조나시 제스로 디메시 뭐네지 된데 요 말에 삼단토비나 감상 시스템라야 직 셈바마지베티 남산 레그 말에 셈바테에 시와제 아니 셈바 혀버 용고요로 딘데지 엘레 과지 거든 럽지 니베 나 딘데지 편연 용고래서
근데 디펜션
과지 과차비나 아니 편연 딘데지 요랬다 과니스나 안더스탠딩 라고로
코니는 alright
아니 베네피트 딘데 요래 라고다
So, how do we understand the meaning of this? Well, for example, if somebody says something negative to us, and then we get a negative reaction to that person, to us it appears 100% like that person appears to our mind to truly be a negative person, like to truly exist as a negative person. Right? But this is not the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is we don't actually understand their full situation. But if we were to recognize that they're experiencing suffering, right? If they weren't, they wouldn't be behaving in this way, or they wouldn't be saying negative things. So, and also, like, it's not, they don't truly exist in this way, because we know first we might not have a particularly positive impression of somebody, but then later we'll become good friends with them, right? So the way we perceive things is not the reality of the way things exist. However, we hold it to be reality, and this, grasping it, the stronger we grasp at this causes us unhappiness. So, we need to cut this appearance of this true existence, right? To recognize reality is more like a movie. Yeah, and the more we are able to not hold on to this as being solid and real, then the more relaxed and happy our mind becomes. So having this understanding, developing the understanding, has these benefits.
제가 디라 양 중재진데 삼다나야 거래 툴 삼다네와 툴 대వ 마음바 다다여와 이건 레라고 싱기로와 디스 디 대버리 디 다다와 디 마음으로 싱기로데 즉 대버셔야디 다다월 때네 대버셔고래 마음벌네 다다와 두스고 튜좀 찍찍 저어요와
right
그 유디 튜튜 바 세도는 아주 대버라고요라 당해라 마부 14번 만들어서 된대지 디 대버리 디 마음벌 스토라 답변아 딘데 식딘데 삼다나야 오라 삼다나다 저런저 때문다그라 무비다그라 무비 와 무비다데 무비 베나다 제 뉴스로 스타나데 무비다나 뉴스다 베나로 뉴스다 연데 뉴스도 어떻게 통하다가 뉴스 독자들네 베나단다 홍콩의 뉴스도 제 이나 따데위나 그런 산다 따위나 다 라이브 멤버십으로 계산기 얘기 뉴스인데 여기 있나 따위나 담고 통하다가 수세미나 가르쳐야거든. 뉴스 단단한 인버터 나와셔야거든. 좋아. 이나 상로다나 뉴스 계산 괜히 내주래로. 내 계산 내주래다. 들이 미드서 요도돼. 미드서 내단 요도돼요. 그래서 당기 수세미나게 당보 나와셔야 되다. 제도 줌제마다는 아니 간도 스템바디 남라지 마지고 차그래. 줌제때 상단 내 계산게 내주래서 대버레스. 다도서 미드서 지잖아. 된다 홍콩고 제가 직전에 종간나 얘기를 가셔면간나 얘기를 아직도 또 가르쳐 그래서 두 삼다는데 당기 내주 당보 통화데 셈게 수수 셈 맞이버데 감사 매우 잘 알아. 곧 툴이잖아요고요. 툴. 툴이 먼저 세워하고 툴이 돼버려. 그 마음을 다다로 싱그러. 될 삼다는데 수수 셈게 나오셔다는데 바까야라. 탑시에서도 툴이 삼다나요고요. 레스 투건.
So, if we look at this to understand how this reasons out, we can use it the example of time, right? So in the time we have the past, the present, and the future. However, these only exist independent on one another. In order to have the past, you need to have the present, and you need to have the future. And likewise, for the present, you need past and future, and so forth. So they're mutually connected, right? They depend on one another. We don't see it this way. We think this is the past, like solidly, right, without being dependent. So to give an example, if we see something on TV, like we're watching the news, and let's say we see something happen, like what's happening in Hong Kong, for example. So whatever images appear on the news that upset our mind, right? That's because without thinking about it, when we see these images, we think that's happening right now. Right? But if we actually take the time to think about it, obviously that footage is not, if it's not live footage, right, it's something that's happened yesterday or previously in the past. But, when we first see it, we think it's actually happening now, and this kind of causes our mind to be unhappy. So, whereas in reality this has happened in the past, and these people, their situation's now different. Maybe something's happened, maybe they're in prison, or maybe there's something else has happened, but what we're seeing is already past. So in this way, but if we don't think about it, it appears to be happening in the present moment to us. So for this reason, it's very good to think about this time as an example of how dependent origination comes about, right? And through this, if we can cut this grasping at this appearance, then this is very beneficial.
아니 먼저 딜라거라 나라저 메제나라 셰바 용거래 마셰바 용거래 야구 용거래 도자 용거래로 상상라 직내주 강의로 진짜 제도 아당에 배나 이런 또 다와지긴 거라로 준다지긴 거라 내가 논리로 제이나 다 뺏어서 가 논리 당아 메베 도자 차스로 그 액션이 다와지로 살아다 다 단다 문에서는 아 메제 사버로 문에서는 사버에다 캐스팅 그 내주디 단다 마치는 단다 마치고 서비나 수수 속도 수수 디마 내주디 마치는제네 네 룸로 서제 당아 베두자래 아 그냥 마 대제서 다 대제서 아니 수수 마치고 체네 독반남도 망고체 되거더러 나 상로시다 티 대버래 다 다오직 로사서 내주디 로사서 당아 마음바 내주 된대지 마음바가 마음바 지긴이로 아 야고 지긴이다 마음바가 야고 지긴랍디 안 수수 로덥게야다 네 연구도 하셔서 먼저 셈게 나와샤바디 진제 내주 지기야 진 양자 근데 마음바 된대 안 스트레스다 앵자리 다 자자두슬레 연구로 도슬레기도 하고 진짜가 내주 춘주지 마망고 지 신용제 근데 수수 셈랑 남도 그 선조로
So, in this human life, we experience positive things and negative things and beneficial things and difficult things, right? But, if we're facing like difficulties or suffering, a lot of it comes from the fact that we tend to dwell on the past, right? Like we might think of something we did, even might be a month ago, but we still kind of hold on to that and bring it up in our mind. And, we feel negatively about this, right? But if we actually looked at the reality of the situation is that we're not that person that we were a month ago. We're a new human being at this point, right? And we are making ourselves unhappy. The only reason we're unhappy is because we're making ourselves this way. We're telling ourselves this story that's making us unhappy, and it's generating all this discursive thinking and so forth. That's not to say we don't need to recognize what we've done. So if we did do something that was a mistake, to think about it in a positive way. Think, okay, going forward, I won't do the same thing again, right? But this kind of thinking gives us more strength of mind. Whereas if we just grasp onto it and hold and regurgitate it, it just causes us stress and anxiety and so forth, right? So, it makes what is a relatively small mistake into something much bigger.
상상라 아니 스스스 경제 삼다다 스스 겸무쇼래라 그래서 뭐막 내주 눈다지기 공기내주 도자디 가 단다미 도자 책이요나 와 인들이 보러 눈다지기 가 칼라 버페 방불사나 드링 저거 제그래 장아래 디 김제 딘데로 삼다나 아니 그디 딱다 세워하고 그다 디 데바디기 단다 펜토기 매버디 다 세워하고 그다 다디 양자 칼라 사고라 양 저거 도구다라 세상 그래서 눈다지기 공라 그래서 밥에 배지부 사요나 배 작세 사요나 팽마르디 눈다지기 샤네 산 베나 계산 사요나 드링 칼라 사고래 그래서 배 레하고 간에 상담이나 수수수 저등에 삼든데 견견다네 수수 강에 소도 라트용으로 수수 셈나 강에 마지워도 망보 수수 거를 잡는 소다.
So, when you think about the reasoning behind it, it's kind of quite humorous, I guess, right? Because if we think about it, what if we did something, say, a week ago that makes us a bad person now in the present, then like it would logically follow if we last week ate a massive feed, like went to a buffet or something, then we wouldn't need to eat now because, we were full then, so we should be full now. But reality is we still need to eat now, right? No matter how much beautiful, amazing food you ate last week, you're still going to be hungry today if you don't eat, right? So, the eating that we did last week or yesterday doesn't fill our stomach today. And, so this is the same way. What we did yesterday is only causing us problems now because we make it that way. We're making the difficulty for ourselves.
당연한 상물로 처음으로는 강의 지시디 relationship으로 대화를 인도 배나 개선키니 대화야 보면은 아니 야구여나 야구면은 제가요 말에 야구여나 단다야 야구매우 차로래 계산 야구 드린 야구면은 야 제일 야구요 차로 그 요도다 쉬우쉬우지 그 심대 제약이에요 말고 그 요도다 단도 미가지 요래라고 쉬우도 야도 마도
and like the other thing is with our relationships, this is one thing that can cause us a lot of difficulties if we don't have positive relationships. But the reality is we don't really need to worry about it too much because the nature of relationships is they're constantly changing, right? What wasn't a good relationship yesterday might be good today, and then tomorrow it might be rubbish again. And this is the way that the relationships are constantly changing. So, yeah, we don't need to stress about it now because it's going to change in 5 minutes anyway.
다다 가래 여어디 다 지우 모션 맞죠, 라. 다다 가 여어디 마음을 대원이 차래. 마음이 연결해. 다한테 다다 가는 사무실에 딴 거 말아 가지고.
But if we look at it, if we actually look at the present moment, then the mind would actually be happy. But unfortunately, we're always thinking about what happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future, and we spend very little time actually focused on the present.
제가 나 디테일에 먼저게 reality 소라 다 동반이자디 고번에로 타도들이라 당연히 고번 유로 타도들이 디 파트데샤 먼저 셈나라야 직 서제야 나와로 샤죠 미직 때나 미직 닝적으로 그냥 미직 수수 미나래 모다이나래와 가리나 잘라 가리나 수수 나와로 샤 야구 수수 셈나 가버요나 상마 닝적으로 야구 통용 거래와 안데 안데 잡로들라 텔레 주제망고라 되네 중된 교제라고 유나제 망볼 되네 중 먼저 셈나 나와샤다는데 단단한데 맨날 취조돼 삼다이너로 먼저 취조되러 네 취조도 통하는데 취조 단단한 배 다란 저도 간라 여도지요 나와셔 그래 디 짐바이나 아니 취조 데버도 짐바래 취조 원에디 다 네 통관하네 녀버래 아니 통관하는 company는 소그래 company 미망보 소그래 근데 주제들라 페이지 미 자제지기 라고 차요라 미자 용달 미자다만 트랜스포트적으로 통관 company 소그래 아도 상다나 당주 단다 삼무단다지 마라 찍고게 메시 라고창 매워라죠. 때 당질해야더라.
Ganda ngala.
마라 찍고 단 다라한테 둘대오라고 싶어. 단단데 immediately 소라다 단다라한스는 immediately
Yeah, right now. Yeah, I got.
되고 요즘 몽골 때네 정화대 삼로 코고 말하는 거.
Okay.
그래 단다라 미스다베나 주제도 저제간라 톱트걸 루어리 나와셔 나와셔와 데다
Like.
무연의 주니 두스로고 잠겨도고 뭐라 뭐 셈라 나와셔와다 무연의 주니 두스로고여고 네게 가서 강에서 고여다 강에서 뭐 네서 고여 그래서
So, this nature of reality is what we finally understand, right? Is the final nature of our understanding. But right now we make a lot of projections with our mind. So we say things are beautiful and so forth. And when we find something that we're attached to that we like, we see incredible good qualities in that thing, but not, but in reality, we don't perceive it, but really these come about through many causes and conditions. So if we take this clock, for example, although it appears to be truly existent, right? And the moment we grasp on that appearance, then that becomes grasping at truly existence. But in reality, this watch was manufactured, all the parts had to come together, the company made it, then it was transported, and then it was sold, and then it arrived somehow on the desk. So there's probably at least 100 people that have touched, been part of getting this clock here. But we don't really perceive that. We think that it just kind of appears right now, like immediately just appears. That's how we hold on to it. But in reality, it comes about through many causes and conditions.
그래서 먼저 배터들 삼단하고 배 먼저 당한서 참뭐 데모 망부다게요. 무비다게요. 무비 망부다게요. 무비다게가 무비기 진짜나네. 오늘도 나와셔거든. 아니 액다도 시그라고 무비나는 시도라. 이나 민원에도 시어 말하다 대여라고. 아니 티 먼저 띵원에로 나와셔거든. 디페데 야고요. 먼저 셈나래 디난시래. 이제 셈나래 나와라 단도 남도로 수수 가위나 잘라이나래 미나래 셰이나래 남셰이나래 정말 야고 나오셔 그래. 와 수수 삼바디 기우당 수수 삼바디 나와도 야고는 정말 야고 통용 그래. 다 수수 셈데 마지워도 남도로 자면데 유나 아니 다 미디 야고 통구 말에 계좌 야고 고고 말에 칼라 신부 요 말에 아니 셰 님부 요 말에 남시 기부 요 말에 가리네 요 말이다. 제가 네 가르친 거라서는 셈게 대간저 수수수 셈나라 무비 소고였다. 먼저 빼 액다 빼 깨다 첨부르다. 근데 이 말에 무비 망고 소고 그래.
Right. So, for example, when we see a movie, then it appears to be real to us, right? Like, so for example, if the protagonist or the hero were to die in the movie, right, then of course we know they're not really dead, but it appears real to us, right? And it's like this. Our daily life is like this. When we, for example, if we like something, a thing or a person, then it appears to be 100% amazing. It appears all positive qualities and things like that. And then if we're unhappy or not really happy, then everything's not good. Like the food's not good, the weather's not good, and so forth. So, in reality, we make movies in our mind every day. So in our mind, we're like this world famous actor who makes like millions of movies.
아니 먼저 데 베나 용도 데모디 뭐네 뭐샤데 아니 먼저 데모데 미지 쇼고다라 데모 카셰페 소왕원에 베
like the mixture younger.
뭐네데 아니 뭐네 니마 망고젤라 사마마 기브 되거든 디간다 이제 쇼제요라.
Right. So sometimes we'll see, like if we see a really good movie, emotional movie, then actually we'll cry. We can cry in the movie, right? So this shows, to have that kind of reaction shows that we, in some way see the movie as real.
세상은 저 쌤게 나와디 ngone re jiundu ani similar thought ego yorda.
Right. So the only reason you can get this feeling coming up is when you hold that to be real, right? You hold as it appears, you grasp onto that appearance, and then you can get an emotional reaction. Sorry, a feeling arising. I shouldn't say emotional reaction. That's different.
다 dine dila khaltin yorasna 다 di shegore danda nangbege sheundu ani nganzo thangbo di ngala ma thangbo nga se adli gorda ta ma ting sabro des doina thang tinde gi chi samlo shaundu thangbo nga la adli gorda pena khala ro jing do khala su zalena nga khala sa gi sa lamsal le nga se adli ro ani nga se adi 그 뭐네 간나 되메게 다직 덴버 투딘 저러지 간나 풍부난도 가지 독도로 가지 한다 딜라가도 근데 이슈 그 솔 지하로 왔다 힌두기 악마라에도 딘데로 가지
So the 풍부탄 자와
대화로 풍부단 대화 매든 거지
자와 매레레
딘데지 가서 땡아도 상관 나와 딜리그 다 데리 다 녀도 선지 상관 데리 대화 매가 그래
So, like from a Buddhist perspective, we say that the basis for all experiences starts with this I. And if we think about deeply into it, we'll see that, at first, like if we're thinking to eat, make a meal and eat it, the first thought that arises is this I. This is the basis for that. But the way it appears is something that's separate from the aggregates, like something like the Christians might hold to a soul or something like that, right? And so this we hold to this separate I that's not connected with the aggregates, and this I is actually our main troublemaker.
다디 nga yinsom 진대비나 뭐니 줄라 nga 딘데지 요마르다 봐 뭐니 줄 딘데 요마르 먼저 셈나라 샤와시 나와셔도 nga서도 풍부나 되메게 풍부단 더면이 풍부라 보스도 완전히도 지요래 봐 띵아 수수쌤 그 찬나서 요래데 수수쌤게 나와샤는데 sö션죠 수수선 요래데 먼저 콤바여를 껴마고 콤바여에 있는 디시 sö셔거든 nga서 당고 간지 리고다 봐 아니 대제를 가려고 그래. 아니 해라 들리겠다. 와. 마에라 들리겠다. 뭐 아이 리그다. 되네 마이 리그도. 다 되네 아이 제일 마이레 임레.
So like we hold this separate entity as being me, right? Like in reality it's not, but we hold that this is like the boss, right? And then from everything is kind of manufactured from that. But we do it so instinctively because we have this habit going back countless lifetimes, right? And then from this, after this sense of I comes then the sense of my, right? So this is what follows on. So I guess you could say first comes the I, then comes the my.
예, 되네 nga레도 아니 녜 빈자 녜다. 딜리고다. 녜 가보 녜 메버제니. 다디 여지고라.
Yeah, and then we make distinctions like my friends, my family, I like this is what I like, this is what I don't like, and everything comes about from that.
제가 딜레데네 다 낭베게 아니 차고지가 열어서 되자디 얘기야. 와. 지 같죠 나디 아니 숙체모여나 아니 말게 미딩 말게 숙체모 차고. 말게 숙체모 차. 아니 만저서 나서 아니 데 숙체모 차. 다 하버드 아니 지 커서래. 먼저 ngaje shukchimbu chewina ta nga nge yabu shingi nge lega samma perfect chege nga bet yang ta wa yin tembe yina ta besar tenina tembesar digala yangjan nembe jarda
ya konde yangja
double power ter kola
ale
yangja o nga yago ye nge lega samma bet yagore nga be mi 상마지라 드롭레 딘데 삼다로 아니 콜라 당부 자자 주는 디간라 자주 굽지 자자 자다 뭐 sötar 슈좀 sö다
yeah. So from the sense of I then comes all the other things like attachment and aversion and so forth, and pride. And the more this I you have, the stronger your pride is, the more pride you have. And this pride, if you have more pride, then this creates further problems because you start to think, I'm perfect. Everything I do is perfect. I never do anything wrong. And then This is, of course, this is a huge mistake, right? But what you're actually doing is you're giving extra like extra power to the I. So you're kind of doubling up on the I, right? What might have been 50%, you've now made 100%.
딜레는 아니 ngaje 이곳에 숙좀 자고라 다르바.
Yeah. So then you have this pride or this strong ego.
디 숙첨보에도 아니 미션제로 왔다. 신변에서 신을 자와라도 뇽뇽차로 왔다.
And if you have this strong ego pride, then there's not really much thought to benefit others or to help others.
대파샤네 능아당 수수 풍부 되어요데 저 전부 지로 그래. 수수 풍부당 아니 되어요죠. 대 전부 지로다.
And then also comes this the pongpotan drawi.
되어요데 전부 지로다. 하고 말해. 신경 말해. 그래서 나 당무 됨데라.
Oh, okay. So then you don't this sense of this I that's connected with the aggregates. There's not much thought of that, right? There's no thinking about that because you've got such this strong grasping.
저자다 낭배 슈네 디 마자고래. 디 마자네. 디간라 랑진지라고 그러. 디간라 랑진지 잡이나 아니 빼도자샤다.
So then if you have this and then on top of this you throw in this attitude of self-cherishing, then you really got a big thing to deal with, right?
저자다 디제레 당안조 상마게 삼바마지버스니 디제레 나당 녜당 랑진지 디제 숨게 당안조 마지버스니 디레다 간다로.
So this is the source of all our suffering. It's the I, the sense of I, the sense of mine, and then the self-cherishing. Can you put the blinds down there, please? Other side. Thank you.
죄송.
Dixon.
제단다. 근데리 먼저 딜라고도. 근데 Paul last year Paul your sister or your friend some nurse. They said where's come from dementia. She's working in dementia.
Dementia? You have
your sister.
You have a sister or something that works with dementia?
You ask a question, where's it come from dementia? They said, who is more equal? They come from. Last year? Oh, really? This is very good for me. Example. You forgot. Your friend working in dementia hospital. You bring last year this bring a message for me. You don't remember? Can you read that? Oh, okay. 제가 디레다 나 디르와 나세야디 삼나다 야디 망탑이나 아니 신라이디 좀 제로가 다디르와 아그 신변 그 삼나당고 요래 스테메디에는 아주 마디 숙침부제도 엔텔라 차과딩에 롱바다 단당아주 산주도 다나 다가래 미 지겜베자야다 자레자야다 창마 아니 nganzo lungbarwa nganzo mirikjikba ane nganzo phujikba nganzo phumujikba tinde ki yawseje nyokda mebe nyokda soguda ro nganzo thangbo lungba jega tine miri an tine khashege pudam phumo khashege ane da yawchene da khanda dusi chen sansamro mangbo shibji soje bodaro mangbo shibji soje an dege nganzo da dunge nyondege yores derwa.
So, the more we think about this I, the more we kind of thinking about that, then obviously the less we think about others, the more we forget about others, right? And so this is why we need to familiarize ourselves with benefiting others. Because if we have this really strong sense of I and then start to think about my country, my friends, family, etc., this creates a lot of conflict and arguing with other people, and especially when you think, become very attached to something like this is only my, place or only my girlfriend or my boyfriend and are very strongly attached to that idea, then this creates a lot of boundaries and borders around and can actually cause a lot of suffering. Okay, we won't talk about that. No need to mention that, apparently.
레단 유모 세베타 레단 유모 남도래 그다 줄래 줄네 동번이 가고 줄세도 다 레단 유모 세베타랍데 다 당긴 간저게 나 셈나라 나와샤데 저디 진데 뭐디 삼로다나 뉴르 드라이어 바카트베여 가르스나 뭐에네즈디 딘데 요말 뭐에네즈 나데 풍보단 저여래 예 수보단 저여래 예 셔바단 저여래 예 빈자단 저여래 예 파마단 저여래 와 저도 고 예 파마를 되네 나충오래 담보대로 아니 민뭐 칼라를 되네 나충 나저 당저 추르단 샤다 된데 사게요나 아니 되저 튼도도 나저 류 초고여래 나저 예 류당 나 저여래 예 심당 나 저여래 로 말로 로침보이데 다 게샤스기도 nga kangba lagwa na nga nagdu nge lagwa nagdu lagda di dewa yor ngwe ni ju di dewa yor ina nga ju semna la dewa menjo jing na wa sha je di zin de yor ande di samlo dang gom ja yon de da nge semna na wa sha wa di min do san de ani mi di nam do chung ru chak shin chung ru ani ji semna la ji ding a ding ko sa nyu ru ani sangma la dewa chanyam ro le tu dus le tu ani nyumo di nyu ru do 가자 동반이데 딱 란싱원에 디신스나나 아니 단지 코랑 매버차로 단지 매버차베 세버들라 아니 곡된서 레다니 뭐 세베 타스로 딜라 곡된서 왔다 디 용구레서
So the knowing the letang yamongi tag chegire
레다니 뭐 세베 타 레다니 뭐 세용디 아니 곡된 용구레서
okay. So, as Nagarjuna said, through cutting the liberation comes through cutting this karma and delusion, right? And then the reality is that when we see the reality, actually everything's interconnected, right? Like we're connected to our aggregates, we're connected to our parents, we're even connected to the food we eat, So this food we ate. And the many beings that experience suffering, insects that maybe died and so forth, and beings that died to bring us this food, or experience suffering to bring us this food, we're actually connected with all of that, right? And we're connected to our body and mind when we think about it, because in reality, if we say, as our body gets older, we say, I'm getting older. If our hand, for example, experiences pain, you say, then I'm experiencing pain. Or if our body's sick, we say, I'm sick. However, we have this grasping that this separate I that's not connected to anything else. And this but we need to recognize this appearance is a mistake. And the more we can understand it, the less and less our delusions become. And when we finally cut this self-grasping, that is the state of cessation. The truth of cessation.
다디 고된데 가래동 용거스나 동용무슨도 별로로와 다 뭐에네 주디 야셴네다 먼저 단단 간저 하고는 그거요 맞다 삼단데 다 간저 되어요 된죠 미지 되어면 조지민도 다 뭐에네 주 되어면 주 켜라요 말 그러와
건데디
뭐에네 주라 리얼리티 되어면 지라요 말 되어면 no connection 이에요 말 되어하고라 connection
no connection
이해요 말이야. 쟤는 이해요 말이야.
뭐는 내추럴 reality.
뭐는 저 reality 소리.
알레레.
아유 야. 질라워래. 제가 저요. 배나 약올라야지 두자를 되는 거래. 등불라야지 통도를 되는 거래. 그러와. 아니 심불라야지 심부 매월 되는 거래. 도저 상마 파지 찍찍을 대화요는 용된 좀 대화요 메시 대화면 저 천 이해요 말이야 딱 발라야 돼 믿어발라 되네 딱 봐샤고 딱 봐봐 딱 봐대 믿어발라 되네 딱 봐샤고 메시 믿어보면은 딱 봐샤도 해요 말이고 어쨌든 대화요 찍찍을 배 대화요 메시 대화 매든 저지 천이라고요 말다 간다 야고 로스고 제비나
So when we have this and slowly when we develop this direct realization of emptiness, right? This comes about through first understanding the internet-connected nature of things, so that we'll never find that everything is connected, right? We'll never find anything that isn't connected, because this connection, this interconnection is the nature of, that is the reality, right? For example, to have good, you need bad. To have long, you need short. So in this way, everything's interconnected. So in order to have impermanence, you need permanence and vice versa. So if you didn't have anything that was impermanent, without that, you couldn't say anything was permanent. So in this way, everything is interconnected, and we need to recognize that.
어디 삼로 망고 땅으로 해서 그래.
Right.
다 그래서 돈이 삼단이 낭바에 따르고 지 삼로 망고 땅이나 아니 참바 닝지 도저야 제도 그래. 안 남도 뇽을 그래. 남도 생 남도 그래. 먼저 셈나랑 먼저 남도 망고 시작도 봐. 베나디 하고 있나? 더 찍을직 때네 정을 하고 있는데 미직다 내주로 버지 계산권이 강해 정면이나 감사 먼저 미드 도자를 삼는데 다니 미지는 미드 남사 도자를 라 말해. 남사 삼당 그러 다 계산 먼저 강해지 중성 다 데라 내단인데 규진인데 중성 나랑 그 마디고 가르도 미신다 마디고 가르도 디 삼당 그래. 디 삼당데 수수 마디고 요나 안서 밀어 콘도사요 말아 수수 논두라다 아니 다팅 논두리스 아니 밀라 지겨레 자야다 밀야 삼바 마지we 자야다 밀라 마가와 자야다 도스 상만 매우 자로 그래 제가 디베 초원거거나 팬도 첨부여다 동반이 된중 같은 상다지도 지글직 된의 총어리 상다에 곰잡던 들 제곰서 그래 형은 저 상로 가다나 되고 그러고 곰바이 모데난도들 남주난도들 아니 바스난도들 아니 주주 동바카데 지난저 다 뉴질랜드 자소칼 비지간라 삼베딩 지그라 안테지 삼다네 되게 삼베딩 삼다네라 수보다 님의 지그레 될 곰자지네 주여래네
So, if we think about this a lot and develop this understanding, then it's easier to develop all our positive qualities like loving, kindness, compassion, and so forth. And also our discursive thinking will also decline. So, we need to really think about this dependent arising a lot, right? Gonda di tenjong di lamsang togimana Right. So we have to that's not something that arises immediately. It's reasonably difficult. We have to think about it again and again. We have to think about the causes and conditions. We have to apply this to the reality of our situations. For example, if somebody maybe gets angry or upset with us rather than immediately getting angry back, if we actually think about it, then it's like, well, maybe I did something to make this person angry with me in the first place, right? And if we think about this, in terms of cause and conditions and so forth, then this deepens our understanding of dependent arising. So this is an analytical meditation that we can do, right? And we can do it at any time. We can do it when we're driving the car, when we're sitting on the bus, when walking around. We can even do it when we're lying on the beach sunbathing, right? So you can get your amazing tan and meditate at the same time. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's analytical meditation. And this can help to reduce our delusions and our negative way of thinking.
디 삼다나 아니 수수 동에 수수 겹도 그래. 수수 딜라야다. 삼다도 왜나 수수 강에 수수 매워서도 그래. 그봐. 세상 단다디 돈이 무슨 도 별로디 다 초근조에서 단다 남부산지에 비나가. 단다 두상다나 리기도 하다면은
근데 돈이 더 별로 저기
돈이 무슨 도 별로디 초근조래.
저기 오케이.
돈이 무슨 도 몰라. 당고 돈이 든지지 또 그러와. 안티네 야야 당보 돈이 다 김진 삼당 그러와. 김진 삼당 또 그러와. 야야 티전다 딜레 퇴어 그러와. 셰 그러와. 도도
Right, okay.
아니 수수 줄래야다. 동에서야기 탑람디 초군조 뭐에 다 디네 기용 그래. 초군조 뭐에 단다 템버시나네 람덴 당 곡덴사 디니 초군조 뭐래. 람덴디 요나 돈이 무슨 도 별로데. 대덕에는 완전 단다 간절라 나 숙첨불리기도 돈이 무슨 들라나 티촌을 내야 말다. 딜레야면은 아니 딩에리 데코레스 착단지에 되요 말다. 착단지에요 말. 착단지에면은 아니 남도요 말. 레사요 말. 근데 간절 기분 용서래로.
근데 디 레사 말은
레사 돈이 무슨 도나 레사도 소.
Okay. No.
곡된인데 추근도 레스.
So this understanding of emptiness, or this mind that recognizes emptiness, this kind of pervades everything and can like protect us from all suffering and so forth, right? Because if we have this realization of emptiness, this realization can be said to be the Dharma jewel. However, in order to develop this, we need to follow the steps of listening, reflecting, and meditating. So first we have to hear it and understand the meaning, and then reflect on it again and again, and slowly develop this until we develop this direct realization, and then that is the jewel, the jewel of the Dharma. And of course, if we have the jewel of Dharma, then of course you can have you have the truth of the path as well. So, and if you have this understanding, then thinking, oh, I am suffering, that's impossible. It's impossible to think like that. And when you don't have this, then you don't create karma. Right? So then you don't create karma. And if you don't create karma, then how can you can't have any suffering? So that's quite good.
That's cool. I want that.
That sounds like.
That's cool. I want that.
Yeah, I'll have one of those.
This is really cool. Yeah, this one, 제로 무슨 위지점 얘기 와 될어 쳐지 되어 동반이 서로 된중 위지점 지는 과차 된대지 과로 이쪽이 과차이나 심나라데 디게 용어도 성을 제로 무슨
Right. So if
된중세 된당 암조 거대라 삼다 아니 심나라 다데 그 인사를 해서 수술 이지로 지래요.
right.
레베이나 심나라 대화
So this is what Lama Tsongkhapa was saying, that if we really develop this belief or trust in this dependent arising, then it brings real amazing happiness to our mind. Right? If we can really contemplate and think about this and understand and develop, like you could say, strong conviction in this dependent arising, then that brings really amazing happiness to our mind.
I have one yogi story. He's speech talk recording the book. And he said, first he realized nearly he realized emptiness. At that time he had lost joyful aura.
Joy.
Lost joy. At that time he thought, in the world, I am taught. Right,
so I'm the happiest person in the world.
Because then he said, everything changing, see, heard, everything. He got new mind, Yeah. Then you watching similar Avatar.
Did he turn into a giant blue man? I don't know. It sounds a bit suspect to me. That's a very beautiful movie. It looks cool, yeah.
And then they maybe actor have some understand a little bit of pure, And one thing there are two, three things. Very good example. All people mind upset, and then light gone, and the Lord danger animal coming. And mind is peaceful and calm, and then a beautiful flower coming. Exactly the same. Yeah, what you say?
So that's a good example.
Same my show, 아니 매도닝 저샤 치우든데 용거다. 심라 콘로제나 아니 라이트 매버차 아니 심지 신나 소든데 용거다.
Right, so yeah, when their mind were happy, then like beautiful flowers were around and there were birds singing and so forth. But then when they kind of got angry and people, then everything got dark and all the predatory animals came out. And
thing 하나도 딱다디 배 딱다요. 수수 쌤 somebody give you na 정말 야구요래 와. 네 뒤진에 라게다 먼저 trust the 쇼베 쇼자요라 버르지 칭교 burning 버르지 심보요래.
Oh, okay, right, yep. So and it's like this: if our mind's happy, peaceful and happy, then everything is good. Like everything's positive. Even if you burn your porridge for breakfast, it still tastes delicious.
No, the Philippa father is very good cooking burning porridge. He's I read 60 years. He give me a chance. I want to cook. Less burning porridge. He likes burning porridge. He used to. he must certainly need some burning, you know. But we are already no problem. We are happy. Then burning forages is they put a little bit of honey in banana. Ooh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Ayo, and your amount is not really heavy, and there are, you know, thousand, 100, you know, fancy breakfast. They're feeling not really good, you know, like that. It's exactly the same, this Avatar movie, you know. Exactly our daily life, exactly. We have this experience. Then you recognize, wow, you know, yesterday I have, sometimes, you know, mind is up or down, up and down. And yesterday you had some, very upset mind, you know. And then you're eating food not much taste, you know. Then today you recognize, oh, yesterday food not really taste because my mind is so upset, you know. Then you recognize clearly, you know. Best you take your experience makes your mind more stronger, right? 수수 냠뇨여로 수수 냠뇨데 탁보서 그래 대하고요 냠뇨데
So yeah, your experience makes you more kind of hardy or more stronger.
대단 디레 다단다 이제 돈이 무슨 더베 로디 람데 돈이 무슨 더발라 돈이 또봉원 들어오라 돈이 또발라 아니 돈이 쉐봉원 들어오라 돈이 쉐발라 돈이 그 퇴오로 가다 뭐 두스레 이게 되다 저 낭배 차야야 돼 수수 동에서 마셔 미신 동에서 미유체도 낭바 제비나 다야고요.
건데
낭바 제저로 수수 동에서 해야지도 상마담시 미신이 동에서 제등에 상마 담부 투비나 아니 소남랍 전부 쌓아야 다 근데 빼야고요. 그래서
So, you know, if we really want to realize emptiness, right, we need to meditate on it. In order to meditate on it, we need to reflect on it. In order to reflect on it, we need to hear about it, learn about it, and understand it. And so, but we need to do it with the right motivation. If you want to be a Buddhist, like the best motivation you can have is to eliminate the suffering of others. This motivation actually not to just eliminate your own, not to eliminate your own suffering, but rather to eliminate the suffering of others. And this motivation creates a vast amount of merit.
다니 거인 있어봐. 다니 다니 레바토에 케베토리 토지스와. 수수 관접 수술했어. 수수게 삼마야 보단 고메야 보잡 체비나 수수 동네 수수 세토 그래. 스타들 세단데 검잡제. 녀모 가나 용고도 녀모는 도신다 니마니마 야제당 수수수 칼에 야제세야 돼 람산 야제당도 말은 데 다오징이 로징이 검잡네. 근데 영화요 말에. 칼레 심무 야제당 그러면 kum시소 그러면 람산 근데 로나시 수주 온다 수주 업체거든요. 영화요 말에. 데 그다음 그 야제 칼레 라당 아니 도세는 수수 권잡 수술에 수주 케베 둘이 토베지. 딱 케바이나 오네게. 뭐이니도 카르도 따나 디시나 될 케바서. 뭐이니도 디시나 될 케바서. 다 케바디 가르스나 아니 동해용을 딴도 동해용을 딴은 수수 동해레 탑에 타버도 그래서 어디.
So, you know, as the Shakyamuni Buddha said, he said, you know, you're your own best kind of ally or protector, and your own worst can be your own worst enemy as well. So when we talk about being your own ally or protector, this means that, you know, you are responsible for developing your own mind and developing your own positive qualities, and you can take this on. But this is not something that happens immediately, you know, and it's not even something that happens in just 1 or 2 years. It's very slow. It's very gradual to develop these habits and this positive things. But if you're like wise, it's not like a switch that you can just turn on and off or something like this. But if you are wise or skillful, then you can develop in this way. And when we say wise or skillful, it's to do with being wise to the nature of reality, right? And the closer you come to the understanding of the nature of reality, then the less delusions you have, and then you can really attain the state of liberation.
하고도 대 탑에 대 동반이 셔럽. 다 디님도 탑. 탑디 가르쳤나 신뱅 삼노도 거고요. 신라 편도체 삼노도. 다 신라 닝지치야. 신라 참먹거냐. 신라 러와치. 신뱅기. 네 셈바디다 개주모 쉬우차고요. 그래서
So, this is talks about this wisdom aspect, but on top of that, you also need this method aspect. When we talk about the method, it's this wish to benefit others, this attitude of compassion, of loving kindness, and so forth. This is the method aspect.
디니니하고 여바이나 아니 신도 아니 랑게 탄다 먼저 탄다 먼저 가져 먼저 랑진지 가 대화요 가자냐 셰되게 여러와 다 신진지 레비나 다 신라 저와 신라 상당 다 등상 딩도 체력을 라고래 미신 당하는들 로주나 다난데 그래가 미 신변당 지도당 아니 미마한테 상당히 미대서 삼바 로덥 첨부여래 내가 자전부 치도 그래. 와 내가 자전부든지 치도 그래. 삼바 로도 첨부요 그래. 혼자 삼바 기워요. 다 수수직부 단다 상당히디 로도 첨부요 말에 셈나는 감다 독바 남도 마지부 망고요. 딕 먼저 로주난 따다 세워하고 오더라. 미드즈 로줄 따나. 나다 로줄에 example 말 간디지 세로 당 아니 단다디 가사 미리나 고지와 코밀라 가사
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela 아니 신다지와 가사 어딘데 망고요 건도 삼단데
many. Okay. So, this is shown in the world. Like we can see, if we have this strong self-cherishing attitude, right, then this needs to be developed into an attitude that's of benefit to other things, about benefiting others. Because we can see that those who have this attitude of benefiting others, they can accomplish. They have like vast views, vast way of thinking, and they can accomplish, because of that, they can accomplish like many amazing things, right? Because of the strength of their mind and their attitude. Whereas those people, like if we don't have this, if we have this strong, thinking about ourselves and wallowing always in our own difficulties and sufferings and problems, then this leads to a very disturbed state of mind and a lot of negative type of thinking. And we can see examples throughout history of those people who had these positive mental states, like Gandhi's one example, or Nelson Mandela. Those who had this wish to benefit others accomplished amazing things.
먼저 지금 당연한저 당고 수수 김자나 밀 삼다로 먼저 남산 자신 못 삼다도만 수수 파마 빈자 고고 도보 동모 따네 기다 등도들라 저거 지야도就是别样了，但我今天话各种都都是先了삼다。他的开始呢삼시 세죠 삼시 세대 하고 이제
yeah, 삼시 is
understanding is that
right, yeah, okay. Not empathy.
디케 좀 쉬어져.
All right, okay. So, this needs to be put into our daily life first, like our family and first. So first you need to develop this positive way of thinking to those around you, like your parents, your children, your relatives, your pets, and so forth. Have this attitude towards them. And the basis for this coming about is this kind of understanding their situation or understanding of the other person's point of view.
Sometimes we do like that. Someone is nyamjungso, samba chungjung.
Yeah, like
symbol.
humble, maybe.
Humble person.
Right.
Body or your dishwasher. Dishwasher.
Yeah, like dishwasher.
And then next body, and other people said, "Oh, he or she likes dishwasher." This is wrong. They need some. He do humbly. He washing. They say, "Oh, he or she likes the dishwasher. She can do like that." I think I saw here a lot happen like that. This is really, really funny, And someone cooking, having people, humbly, you like cooking,
Right.
Next, easy to give their job. They need to understand, what they do. Need some people, humble people, very difficult all the time, give very hard job, Oh, you like this job? you can't do it. You know, don't do that next time. You know. 어디래 니인디다 나 돈이 무슨 더 별로데라 니 초군조 뭐였어 거래. 다 돈이 당 초군조 초군조디 라닝 뭐 스캡도 거래. 다디 줄들 간서들 긴디군조서 거래. 제단다 긴디군조 와 박배 간서들 긴디군조서 거래. 다디 니 수수심 야야야야야야 게 땅제 에나 마음버 수수 산제들라 아니 타두기 캡 산제군조. 제단 남버 산제거기 나 초군조 긴디군조 산제군조 써야 돼. Duk's chene ta rumshi duk's chare sroko. Duk's chene ne kunjo sumse chare so.
So when we talk about this, these three jewels, right, and what they are, it's you could say that the Dharma jewel is actually this direct realization of emptiness.
This is ngos kyap to goris.
So we need to actually develop this for ourselves.
We need ma. Dingos kyap to goris.
Oh, sorry. We have the ability to develop this for ourselves. Right. Oh, okay. So the Dharma offers us this ability to. It's like medicine, right? If you eat medicine, then your body becomes healthy. So we have this ability to develop this understanding, and then the beings that have this realization, they're referred to as the Sangha jewel.
Nurse.
And that's like an example of like a nurse. So the Dharma is like the medicine, the Sangha is like the nurse, and then the final understanding, right? When you have this final understanding of the reality, the being who has that is said to be the Buddha. And this is like the doctor. Right. So if we're dealing with a bit of we deal with difficult situations and problems and suffering and all these things, so we need these supreme helpers or these supreme friends, so we can therefore rely on these three jewels. Do you have any questions?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
We were talking about past, present, and future earlier on,
Uh-huh.
and that these three all depend on each other. And they're all
Lesser.
relative, past,
Right.
present, and future.
Yeah.
But my question is, when is the present? Because if we say now is the present, that's just gone. And that's gone.
Right.
So the past
So
and the future are going like that.
Okay.
At what point do we say it's present?
Okay. So how do we define the present? Like we talked about how past and future and present depend on one another. But how do you define the present? Because if you say this is the present, by the time you say that, it's already the past. So the tandawa tanda hakogi kandi hakoguduro. Pena di nyena di tena nye tubi mare. Pena tandawa labna deni di depa sason. So di kandi nyegire.
제단데 두샤레 데와 타다 마마 샤나데라 유즈미로 망고여라 디데스 카고여래 당한저데 란룩로 어디가시나 자와 지심바 다다오래 나한테 깨제 셰심바 자와 지심바 다다오래 자와 지심바 시심바스나 다다오래 자와 지심바 깨제 셰심바
Okay.
그런 예심바 칼라사심바
So it's like, so to get really into the nitty-gritty of past, present, and future is quite a vast topic, right? So we don't have time to do all of that now, but you can define the present as the process of doing something, right? Like you...
or continuous action.
Yeah, present continuous, like this present continuous verb, that's the present. Like I am eating, like as you're eating, I'm sleeping, I'm walking. That present continuous, that can be said as the present.
Right. 다단다 더 건다 주주고 마음바래 둥둥둥둥다 아니 가지직 두두두잖아 간단하지라 쟤는 이야기야 말해.
Right. So and when you look at it in terms of larger time scales, you can easily define past and future, right? So you can say yesterday was the past, tomorrow is the future, right? And then you can
드링 닫아. Today is
today is the present, right? And then you can say within a day, you can say, this morning was the past, like 10 o'clock tonight is the future, and now is the present. But as you break that down smaller, then it becomes more difficult to actually define what's past, present, and future is.
namely. 단다도도 닫아와서 밍라래.
Yeah. But in essence, like this now, this present is just merely a name anyway.
다 지버래. 단다 네 주제도와 주제디 단다도 가서 통거다. 얘는 파파파잖아. 야 주제니에요 말. 지버래. 야 주제서 냄이요 말.
In the same way, when we look at this clock, when we say, we can see the clock, but if we actually break it down, we can't actually find this clock.
So yeah,
if you actually think about it, everything's just merely a name. All phenomena are merely a name. Yeah, so good is just a name, bad is just a name. And if you try and find good or bad, you can't, you won't find it.
Yeah, but
if you say, it doesn't exist, well, no, it exists. Yeah, so you can say relatively exists, ultimately it doesn't. Right, so yeah, so in the Heart Sutra, it says there's no form, no feeling, and so forth. This is talking about an ultimate truth. There's no form, no feeling, and so forth. Tandawa di dra. Okay, but relatively exists, and the sound exists. Yeah, because you can hear the sound of the word, but therefore relatively it exists, but ultimately there's no form, no feeling.
안내주 망고 시험도 당에 삼당당당 우유니주디 로가르샤로 이제 아니 수수 다 계셔셔야지 수수심로 다 보자더라 계정 남산심 야지 마지와 차야다 양자쇼지 가워차 양자쇼 도자차 디 야고요 말와다 야고요 말으스는 디 매와 차그래 고 땡데기 돌아 삼로 망고 땅토이나 아니 고란쇼게 미디 삼바데스 말해와요 야다 남도 숙충하다
Okay. So we need to.
This question. Okay.
We need to really kind of understand this is the nature of reality. Di tambo labsong correct? Di tambo labsong?
Tambo labs.
Di tambo di yabatrimason.
네, 말에 동만이 된다라 돼. 타니에디 디저 삼무담비나 남도 숙충으로 마지와디 숙충으로 그래서.
Yeah. So if we don't, if we need to recognize this, think about this, check our mind and understand. Because if we don't have this understanding, like then we constantly go from happy to suffering and up and down like this. And the more we understand this dependent origination, the more we recognize this, then the less our suffering becomes, and the less our discursive emotions become, the more we have this understanding. And we go closer and closer to the nature of the mind, nature of our mind. Yeah, but unless you meditate, you're not actually going to get there. So you need to meditate.
Now, modern scientists and brand neuroscientists, they believe your mind is changing, your brain change. They believe that, but question comes: how do your mind change? Right?
So then the question comes: how do you actually transform your mind, or how do you affect your mind? So apart from meditation, there's no other way to do it. But you can slowly change your mind through meditation, but it takes time. You need a lot of time.
Big job, and you fall busy, whole life busy. You never become retired. If you retire, you have more time. Then you have good fortune, right? A big bada nearly retired, and he little bit worried. One year now he not really worried because he do lots practice the dharma. He said, "Oh, that's very good. Now I have not enough time. This is very helpful. I think this is very good. Benefit this life, benefit next life." Question or finish? Yeah.
Does the present moment have ultimate reality or just relative?
So does the present moment have ultimate reality or just relative? So tandawa, tandan dembe yure or kunzab dembe chikpore?
kunzo demba chikbore. Tandamde yoma, tandamsa de demba tuwa yomare. Tuwa mewe tadawa yomare sore. Tandamla de kunzo koro. Tadawa de dunyi de yorwa. Tandamsa de tadawa sa de demba tuwa. Tuwa mege tadawa yomare se. Tuwa ne chudin jo tadawa yores dire. Tene chunga tadawa yores. Tene ma chunga tadawa yomare se.
Right. So it only has relative existence. So that the ultimate existence is the absence of the true existence, right? It's just this absence of. So we can say that in a relative sense it exists, or it exists as the kind of it exists as dependent arising, right? We can say that way exists. But the absence of it truly existent, that's the ultimate reality.
Yeah.
When you go to a funeral, especially if somebody's died that's close to you, you have these strong emotions arise. So should you let those emotions go and go ahead and cry, or should you be trying to look at those emotions as not being the emptiness of the emotions and the emptiness of the whole events going on?
Okay. So if you're at a funeral, for example, and you have strong emotions at that time, should you let those emotions arise, or should you try and recognize the emptiness of these emotions? Is that right? Okay. So kesi di funeral adrona mishina dini samsam dinya tsoa yongirero any samsam mikchu yongire any de kapsula di mikchu yong na digire or di tongbani gomgirero di tsoa di tongbani samla tangogire kari
제가둘라 나서서원에 직자와 쇼 연결인데 나 야고제 파 작자 무시나 야고요. 니 삼바 타 쳐도라. 파 무시하네. 무시한저 되간라. 니 삼바 마지고 차거든나네. 데 뭐야게 동해로 저러 동해데 거도 제비나 동해 니가 말봐. 심지어 심나라 동해 먹고 용거로. 인데 갈라 파 직무 무사회질라 양저 심나라 동해 용거도나 아니 동해에 가도 이제 동해랑은 또 요마레스네 동반이가 상담도
So yeah, I mean it's good at the time when you have strong emotions to kind of let it out, right? To let the emotions out. And then later, once you let it out and it's gone, then after, maybe later you experience suffering because of it. And at that time, then you can try and find this suffering and then, you obviously you wouldn't find it and so forth. So you could do that then. But at the time, maybe it's better to just kind of like we say, let it out in English.
It's still here. Yeah. 사시 부시 중심에도 담 레라리 신인데 견바데 산제 신데